This tutorial is all about what interviewers want from the people they're interviewing, and it's based on my experience from 30 years of interviewing footballers. On one level, it's all very straightforward. I want you there on time, I want you to be friendly, I want you to answer all my questions, and then I want to shake your hand and we part, ideally still on good terms. There is another level, we'll talk about that shortly, but if you ticked all those initial boxes for me, I'd be pretty happy. Check back at the first thing I asked for, punctuality. It seems obvious, but that's probably the one that most often doesn't get a tick. If you add up all the hours in my life I've spent waiting for footballers who are late for interviews, it would probably add up to a year at least. Do you know what happens if you leave me waiting? My day starts to get complicated. I've got to go and edit this afterwards. I've got my kids to collect from school, a train to catch, whatever, so I start to get a little bit angry. And maybe this interview might be slightly tougher on you than I'd originally planned. Anyway, you've got in the room on time. All good, I'm happy. Now I know this might be a bit of a pain for you. You've got stuff to do as well. But I'm here because it's my job, and so are you. So we might as well make the most of it. Let's make this as enjoyable, as pleasant as possible. It's not politics, it's just a game, and it's meant to be fun. There are always serious questions, of course, and I might have been sent to see you with one or more of those to ask. The key bit here is that I don't have complete control over this interview. I have a boss, and my boss has told me what he wants me to ask. Sometimes we might have an argument about it, but if I don't ask the question ultimately, I can expect an even bigger row when I get back into the office. So respect that. Don't have a go at me for what you might regard as a daft question. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for my boss or for the fans or whoever, just not me. So make my life easier. Just answer the question and then we can all move on to something else. You don't need to say anything particularly controversial or dangerous. Just a nice 15-20 second answer gets me the tick with my boss. One other thing on this, I prepare for every single interview I ever do. I don't want to miss anything that we should be talking about. Could you do the same as well, please? If we've both prepared, this is going to be a much better match. So it's all simple stuff, and at the end of the interview, I'll offer my hand, look you in the eye and say, thanks, that was great. Little secret, 95% of the time it wasn't, but I'm saying thanks just for turning up on time and being nice to me. What about the 5%, the next level? Well, that's all about your performance. Those are the interviews when I've asked a question and I've actually got an answer that I'm interested in. I mean, I've done 10,000 or more of these things. The handful I remember were the ones where the interviewee gave me something back, went a bit beyond the ordinary, used words I wasn't expecting, came out with a view I hadn't anticipated, told a great story or expressed real emotion, anger, joy, sadness, whatever. I've done an interview where the players cried. I've done interviews where I've almost cried. It doesn't always have to be that dramatic, but emotion does live long in the memory. So to summarise, don't personalise this. I'm not asking the questions for me. I'm asking the questions on behalf of someone else. We both have to do this. It's our job. So let's make the most of it. Help me and I'll help you. Energy lifts any interview. It gives me something much better than the ordinary to take back to the office with me. But if all else fails, just turn up on time. I've got a table booked for 7.